Live from Tampa, Florida, it's a hot summer night of the NFL on TNT. The fans are welcoming their undefeated Buccaneers, and this sellout crowd is ready for their battle against the Miami Dolphins.
The Buccaneers will be 3-0 for the first time since 1979.
Oh, yeah! Young under pressure. P.O.B. sacked at the 32 by Warren Sapp.
Dunn gets the call. Zigzags across to the 45.
25-20. 15-10. Touchdown. Warwick Dunn.
After 2 decades of football frustration, Tampa Bay has emerged with a new look, a new attitude, and a new direction.
Dilfer is throwing perfect strikes.
For years, Miami has been the big fish in Florida and a force to be reckoned with in the AFC. But by the end of Week 3, these two teams from the same state were in different states of mind. It's a new day in Tampa Bay as the Buccaneers play the Dolphins next on TNT.
Tampa Bay will be the only unbeaten team in the NFC. I think we got the makings of a great football game today.
You're looking down at the wonderfully vibrant scene in that rarest of animals in Tampa, Florida. A sellout crowd at Houlihan Stadium. Better than 74,000 raucous fans have gathered here to celebrate the emergence of one of the fine young teams in the NFL, the undefeated Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as they host their interstate rivals, the Miami Dolphins, who come in tonight with a 2-1 record. And good evening, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Pat Hayden and Mark May. Welcome to Houlihan Stadium and welcome to the emergence in the national spotlight of pewter power. The Buccaneers changed their colors and their uniforms. They go with red and pewter, and lo and behold, they're undefeated for the first time since 1979. One sad note for that team tonight. Warren Sapp, who is their emotional and physical leader on defense, will not suit up. He's out with an injured ankle. They do, however, have the architect of this turnaround in Tampa, 41-year-old head coach Tony Dungy, and my goodness, Pat, what a fine job he has done.
You know, many people around the league say, it's just players that win the games, but, it's time to recognize that good coaching can make a significant difference, and it certainly has here in Tampa Bay. Tony Dungy has done a remarkable job, and Trent Dilfer, his quarterback, may have said it best when he said to us yesterday, hey, our team wants to be just like Tony, determined, focused, and poised. And Tony Dungy's had a plan. Last year he spent that time on defense, and this is a very good young defensive team. But he wanted to turn his attention to offense this year. He said we needed more scoring punch. So what did he do? He went out and drafted Warwick Dunn out of Florida State, #1. And indeed, he has added some scoring punch. You see what he's done? 2 100-yard games, 5.8 yards a carry. Had a 52-yard run last week against Minnesota. A couple weeks ago against Detroit, had a 49-yard run. So he has indeed given them a lot of scoring punch. And Mark, it's interesting. The Bucs, they can be very good on offense, explosive at times, whereas the Miami Dolphins are really struggling on offense.
They are, Pat. And when you don't score points, the finger gets pointed at the quarterback, and that's Danny Marino, future Hall of Famer. Head coach Jimmy Johnson has even toyed with the idea of replacing Danny Marino with backup Craig Erickson. That would be the equivalent to, say, Sylvester Stallone not appearing in the next Rocky movie. I don't think that'll happen. But this team has struggled on offense, particularly running the football. They're dead last in the NFL, ranked 30th. The other area where this football team is struggling is in the red zone. That's the 20-yard line in, or as Jimmy Johnson would like to call it, the green zone, the money zone. They have scored 12 times in the red zone out of 13 attempts, but Vern, out of those 12 times, only 2 of those have been for touchdowns.
All right, Mark, that means Alinda Mari has been busier than Jimmy Johnson would like. And right now, let's check in with Craig Sager down in the field.
An undefeated record, a sold-out stadium, a playoff atmosphere. Coach Dungy, what did you tell your team about this atmosphere, what this game means to them?
Well, it's a big game for us, but we just talked about playing our style, playing buck ball for 60 minutes.
You're the calming force. You're always poised, but your special team coach, Joe Marciano, was running around like he wanted to hit somebody.
Yeah, we got to keep him under control a little bit, but hopefully our special teams will set the tempo tonight.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thanks, Craig.
Let's go back up to you, Vern.
All right, Craig. Tony Dungy about to coach his 20th Tampa Bay Buccaneer game. Jimmy Johnson coaching his 100th career game tonight. his second season at Miami after those very successful years in Dallas. And Michael Husted will kick off. Spikes is one of the deep men. And Corey Harris. Spikes to the left, Harris to the right. I think Kenny Gant is ready. Number 29. Muggy night, typical. Possible rain showers. This crowd could care less. Husted will kick. Spikes and Harris wait for it. Spikes at the 1. Spikes at the 22. Dan Marino in his 15th season. Thus far this year, 1 touchdown and hitting only 47% of his passes. Had the 1 good game in week 2.
For 14 years, this Miami team has had an identity as a passing team, but they are really struggling to find an identity in 1997.
Marino got that 1 touchdown pass last week in Green Bay. They open up in the shotgun. Quick flip, left side, incomplete. Offensively for Miami, Abdul-Jabbar and Dwayne Dotson is the fullback. Stanley Pritchett on the injured list. Dotson is hobbled. Barnett and McDuffie the wideouts, and Troy Drayton is the tight end. And up front, it's Webb and Sims, the veterans on the left side. Ruddy, joined by McIver and huge James Brown. Shotgun formation yet again on 2nd down and 10. Four-man rush for Tampa. Marino goes left, connects, knocked away. Anthony Parker knocked it loose. Intended for Charles Jordan. Defensively, Ahanotu, Culpepper, Marvin Jones replaces Warren Sapp, Reagan Upshaw at right end. Gooch gets his first start for an injured Rufus Porter. And in the secondary, it's Abraham Parker, Lynch, and Melvin Johnson. 3rd and 10. Safety blitz. Marino comes right. Has a man down there, almost picked off by Abraham. Donnie Abraham had it go right through his hands. It was intended for Barnett.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers want to get after Dan Marino and force him to throw the ball early. And they feel if they can get him to throw the ball early, they have a bunch of chances to intercept the pass. And that one should have been intercepted right there by Abraham.
Now here's an interesting story we'll follow tonight and develop. Kyle Richardson just signed again this week. John Kidd has a hamstring pull. And Richardson, who kicked in a previous game in week 2, is on to kick tonight for Kidd, who is not active. Carl Williams, number 86. Has some room. Across the 50 to the 49. Jason Taylor with the tackle. A 53-yard punt, but a 25-yard counterpunch.
When you talk about the Buccaneers, you have to mention their defense. When we talk to their players, that is what leads this team. But when you talk to every player in unison, it's special teams. This team starts off better than anyone else on a change of possession in the NFL.
What an amazing turnaround this season for Trent Dilfer. 4 touchdowns. He's gone 92 regular season passes now without throwing an interception. That is a diametric contrast with the previous 3 years of his career. 1st and 10. Warwick Dunn bounces up from the left side. Good pursuit by the Dolphins. As Calvin Jackson, number 38, got out there. Offensively, it's Dilfer, Dunn, Allstott in the backfield. Anthony and Copeland. And Jackie Harris at tight end. Up front, Paul Gruber, the veteran of this offensive line. Tony Mayberry, also a longtime vet. 2nd and 8. Dilfer will throw. Looks left, fires it, incomplete. Intended for Riedel Anthony. Defensively, Armstrong and Taylor on the outside. Gardner and Bowens at the tackles. Zach Thomas is back. He missed most of preseason with a fractured leg. Derek Rogers, the second rookie who starts. And in the secondary, you've got Buckley and Jackson on the corners. Sean Wooden is having a really terrific early season. Allstott out. 3rd and 8. Motion left, flag down. Dilfer finds his receiver. It's Carl Williams, number 86. And that will be close for a measurement. Referee tonight is Walt Coleman.
Okay, this Buccaneer offensive team is blessed with a lot of good young players at wide receiver, in the backfield. And Trent Dilfer, although in his 4th year, now in his 3rd year as a starter, is no longer a young quarterback, a guy that's really made significant progress, Vern, as you mentioned.
Now the option resting with Tony Dungy. It's a matter of whether they got the first down on the completed pass play to Williams.
Offsides on the defense. Outside linebacker. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Well, clearly they didn't get the first down on the pass play.
And they did not measure it.
I think that's what Tony Dungy is asking. How come there wasn't a measurement? Because it was very close.
You're right, Mark, and a quarterback has a right to ask for a measurement, and every quarterback should. You should always ask for the measurement so you know exactly how many yards you have to go on 4th down.
3rd and 3. Jackie Harris, the tight end, in a slot to the left side. Miami shows a blitz look. They are not coming. Only 4 rush. There's stunts. Dilfer gets rid of it. Caught by Dunn. Warwick Dunn knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
Heck of a play by Trent Dilfer. And then by Warwick Dunn. You know, the emergence of Trent Dilfer, it started the last 7 games a year ago. They went 5-2. Good pressure early in this play by Miami's front 4. Well, I think it was Derek Rogers who came clean early. And then Trent Dilfer really kind of made a dangerous throw, but had enough touch on it to get it past a defender. And Warwick Dunn, who can hurt you as a runner, and this time as a receiver. It's a heck of a play.
21-yard gain and a first down at the 21. Warwick Dunn's 6th catch of the season. Fake the draw play. Dilfer across the middle. It's tipped. And then Dunn makes the grab at the 19-yard line. Zach Thomas, number 54.
Hey, Mark, that's going to be a good matchup. Number 54, Zach Thomas, stopping Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott, the fullback of the Bucs, all night. That's going to be a good matchup.
It's going to be easier for him to stop Mike Allstott, but I don't think he's got the speed to keep up with Warwick Dunn.
Yeah.
No question about that. But those defensive linemen have to keep the offensive linemen off the second tier of the defense so Zach can run free and make those tackles.
2nd down and 8. Last 5 times, Tampa Bay has been inside the 20. Touchdowns. That's another diametric contrast to the woes of Miami. 2nd and 8, opening drive of the game for the Buccaneers. Dunn. Shifty little run. Down to the 12-yard line.
I tell you, good teams can run the ball in that red zone or green zone or whatever color you want to call it. Teams call it different things, but you've got to be able to run the ball. Miami has not been able to run the ball inside the 20, and the Buccaneers have. Again, a good block there by Gruber on Zach Thomas. Good read by Warwick Dunn, who just kind of cuts off that block. So the good block and then the good read.
3rd and 1. Allstott in the backfield behind Dilfer. A double tight end set. That's Williams in motion. 2nd man through. It's Allstott, and he bangs out the first down at the 10-yard line.
Jimmy Johnson said it would be instrumental for his defensive tackles to put a lot of pressure in the running game. He's got to count on those guys because without those 2 guys, this is the smallest defense in the league. When you get a fullback like Allstott banging in there, they're going to have a tough time the entire evening stopping a big bull like that right there.
For the season, a 3.7-yard average. But again, you highlight that 1-yard touchdown run he had last week.
You don't measure him, I think, by statistics, but I think you measure him by effort. And he has exceptional effort.
Allstott and Dunn in the backfield now. Backs in the I formation. First down inside the 10. Here's Dilfer with time. Drills it. Caught by Horace Copeland, who was out all of last year with a knee injury sustained in preseason.
And that goes to show you, if you've got a dynamic running game, you can go to the play-action pass on first down. It gets the linebackers to step up. Watch the linebacker grab a hold of Warwick Dunn. Here's Copeland coming down the slant pattern. He's wide open because the linebacker stepped up. The other secondary personnel stepped back. And if you've got a good running attack, that really alleviates a lot of pressure on your quarterback in the play-action passing scheme.
Copeland, just a wonderful athlete. Trent Dilfer said he's fast as Deion Sanders. He runs a 4.340, a 46-inch vertical leap. They missed him, and they love having him back. Second down. Play fake. Left side. Touchdown, Allstott.
Yeah, Mike Allstott will bull you for 1 or 2 yards on one play, and then the next play he sneaks out of the backfield, and he's got real soft hands. 65 catches a year ago, and like Warwick Dunn can hurt you multiple ways, but in a different variety.
Husted to make it a 7-0 game. This all set up by the punt return of Carl Williams, the big pass play to Warwick Dunn, and then a 3-yard play action pass to Mike Allstott. Dilfer's been perfect this season. So have the Buccaneers. 20 under Tony Dungy, and only the second time the Buccaneers have scored on their opening drive of a ball game. Last time they did it was an overtime win here against Oakland last November that really began the turnaround for this team.
And boy, it gets the crowd and Kenny Gant and special teams guys very involved in this primetime event.
Some more involved than others.
Oh, boy.
Well, he's just signaling. Thank you.
Fair catch.
Husted. Touchback. And that'll get the crowd going. Seven 0 Buccaneers before a sellout crowd at Houlihan Stadium. Miami need to get a quick start. Didn't happen. Marino 0 for 3 on the first possession. Now he's got Abdul-Jabbar as the deep back in the I. Dotson is the fullback. Play action. Marino into the right flat.
Now Warren Sapp and a bunch of coaches are claiming he's no good. That is Warren Sapp.
McDuffie the reception. Abraham the cover.
And this is what this team, the Miami Dolphins, desperately needs. Guys making plays like that. That is a heck of a coverage by Abraham and a great catch by McDuffie.
Marino now 1 of 4. Second down and 1. Abdul-Jabbar. Top 3 yards across the 30 out to the 32. Melvin Johnson, number 25, with the tackle. Let's take a look at our Foot Locker scoring drive. A 3-yard touchdown reception from Allstott. 8 plays, 49 yards in just under 5 minutes.
And once again, Trent Dilfer was key on third down. The pass to Warwick Dunn. He's played very well on third down his first 3 games.
Leads the NFC in third down passing, does Dilfer. Here's Abdul-Jabbar to the 35-yard line.
You know, the Miami Dolphins really, or Jimmy Johnson really wants to be a running football team. Certainly a balanced team, but we said that this team has been characterized by the huge presence of Dan Marino for 14 years, the greatest pocket passer of all time. So they're having trouble, I think, adjusting to becoming that balanced running football team.
Well, they are averaging only 2.7 yards per carry on the ground. Johnson, with a less than splendid endorsement of Abdul-Jabbar last night, said he's a good, solid running back. That didn't put him in the Pro Bowl. And he is stopped short here by Hardy Nickerson, the two-time Pro Bowl linebacker of the Buccaneers.
Keith Sims out there injured, the left guard. They're going to need him tonight for this running attack. But you talk about Jimmy Johnson, he wants to emphasize the run, but it all starts with the guys up front. If your linemen have been pass protectors throughout their career, they're not smash mouth type guys. They're not 320-pound snot blowers that can knock people off the ball, and that's what they need in Miami. I think in the draft in the next year or two, you will see Jimmy Johnson in free agency go after linemen that are established run blockers in the NFL.
Keith Sims is the injured player. The medical staff of Miami is out tending to him, and we'll take a break. 7-0. Tampa leads. Midway through quarter number one, let's go back, Mark, and take a look at that Keith Sims injury.
Watch Keith Sims right there. He's going to fall on his left elbow. He gets tripped up, cut down right there. Watch his left elbow. He already has a pad on that. And when you get 310 pounds falling that far on the ground, if you don't protect yourself, you're liable to get injured.
Jeff Bucky has taken his spot, number 77. Sims in obvious pain on the bench. 3rd and 6, Miami at their own 36-yard line.
And this is the formation the Bucs want to blitz Marino, that 4-wide receiver set.
Blitz coming. Marino with time, puts it on a rope, but great defensive coverage from Charles Mincy and Anthony Parker, intended for Barnett.
Not only that, Pat talked about blitzing them from the outside earlier. When you watch this, they will come off the outside edge, put pressure on Marino. Danny Marino's not a scrambling quarterback. We all know that. He's a pocket quarterback. When you've got situations where it's 3rd and long, your guys have to move to get open with a moving quarterback. Danny Marino's not that type of quarterback at this stage in his career.
Now Kyle Richardson signed. He played with the Rhine Fire in the World Football League this spring, but was not in anybody's camp. He knows Doug Blevins, the kicking coach of Miami, who recommended him when Kidd got hurt. And now punting for the second game in a Miami uniform. Here's Carl Williams at the 20. Six-yard return out to the 25-yard line. The tackle made by Ronnie Ward, number 55. Underway in the 4th game of the season, the Buccaneers 3-0, and they have a 7-0 lead over the Dolphins.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Reebok reversible jersey. Home colors on one side. What is that, eggshell? How about white? Away colors on the other. Green?
Teal.
Man always finds the crease. Too fast for you, huh? You gotta go. Ooh. So anyway, one side home, other side away.
And enter Foot Locker's drive to the Super Bowl sweepstakes for a chance to win a 97 Oldsmobile Bravada SUV and 2 tickets to the Super Bowl. From Foot Locker, of course, where it all begins.
Pictures of the sellout stadium overhead taken by the Goodyear Blimp Spirit of Akron all the way down from Akron, Ohio, to give us these aerial views of the game. A sellout crowd, a rarity last night. Tony Dungy showed his team videotapes of their game at home against Seattle a year ago this weekend when there were 28,000 people in the stands. And he said, kids, I want you to appreciate what's going on here.
That's the old coach's bandwagon talk. Now that we're winning, everybody's jumped on the bandwagon, and there's not enough room.
It is full. But he has transformed, certainly his quarterback, and beginning to transform this franchise.
1st and 10. Allstein. Big run, 1st down out to the 36-yard line.
The best running fullback in the National Football League. Did you see the little move at the very beginning of that run, the little sidestep? I mean, he's 248 pounds, but he gave you a quick little move very early on in that run. Lined up back here. And a little cutback, he ran like a tailback. He's kind of dodged his way, weaved his way through it, secures the ball, and a very physical player at the end of the run.
Gain of 12, first down at the 36. This is Dave Moore, the second tight end, in motion. It'll be Allstott again, and he bangs his way out to the 43-yard line.
This is the type of football I love. One back, what does it remind you of? Big fullback in the backfield, throwback type guy, 240 pounds, just bulling his way through the middle of the line. When you watch Allstott, he just takes on anybody in front of him. There's not going to be one guy that's going to bring him down. It goes through that arm tackle. Forget that. They need 2, 3, 4 guys to bring him down. 3 carries, 20 yards thus far in the football game.
And having found something that's working well, they stay with the double tight end set, and the lone setback, Mike Allstott out of Purdue. Dave Moore, the lead blocker. Allstott, another first down. Allstott's coach, of course, played in the Big Ten at Minnesota and then played with Pittsburgh. And he was asked, who does Allstott remind you of? He said, well, Rocky Bleier. He said, well, wait a minute. He's a little bigger than Rocky. He's a better receiver than Rocky. He's a darn sight better runner. He's a better football player than Rocky.
Yeah, don't tell Rocky I said that. And you just did.
First down and 10 at the 49. Play action. Dilfer looks deep, goes for a man who's wide open. Horace Copeland with the grab, and Dilfer's down at the 40.
Boy, that must have been very late because he had great protection early on in that play. Steve Walsh, the backup quarterback, and he's going to hang in there. Boy, Brett Favre hung in there today for Green Bay, but they had really good protection, Mark, early on, and it was Shane Burton who got pushed into him. He got pushed into him. I don't think that was a cheap shot.
Not cheap at all, Pat. A lot of younger quarterbacks have to realize that eternal clock has to go off. When you've got 4 or 5 seconds back there, get rid of that football.
Internal that can sometimes be eternal.
Yeah.
The internal.
Dilfer, Steve Walsh played for Jimmy Johnson in Dallas. Remember when he was a supplemental pick, having played for Johnson at Miami, then traded to New Orleans where he played 4 years, then Chicago last year with the Rams in St. Louis where he appeared in 3 games. Now in his 9th year, and another of a ton of guys on these 2 teams who played at Florida schools.
Now this is going to be a great test for this Tampa Bay offense. If they can rally around the backup quarterback, it'll show a great sign of maturity for a young team.
This is when you find out how good a running football team you are too, Mark.
Steve Walsh, first and 10 at the 30 after the 21-yard gain. Dave Moore, lead block. Allstott starts left, cuts back to the right, and moves those 248 pounds.
Pat, I was in a situation where I played. We lost our quarterback, and Joe Theismann. Jay Schrader came back into the ball game. We still won the football game, but hey, Trent Dilfer's a tough guy. I'm sure he'll be back.
Yeah.
Yep. Those 28,000 who were here a year ago were booing him then.
Yeah. Those are welcome sound to the quarterback when he plays at home.
5 of 6. He's now thrown 98 passes without an interception going back to December 15th last year. Rourke done. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
The way you look at Trent Dilfer, too, I think this game has gotten so much more physical on quarterbacks. I was watching, the Green Bay game, Brett Favre getting pounded and pounded, come back in and playing. And you have to be able to take those blows if you're going to be able to survive this 16-game season. And I tell you, that is a very tough quarterback there in Trent Dilfer.
3rd down conversions, and again, Pat made the point. He leads the NFC on 3rd down passing. 3rd and 10. Carl Williams in motion, coming back to the left. Stunts. Timing route. That should be good for the first down. Yes. Inside the 20 at the 19. Copeland with the catch. Tim Jacobs with a tackle.
Mark, we didn't talk about that 11-yard game. Didn't talk about Copeland's catch when Trent Dilfer got hurt a little moment ago, but it was a magnificent catch. Ran an outside route before on the other side. This time comes back on the other side against Tim Jacobs. Another square out. Great hands. He's not bobbling the ball. He's had to adjust to certainly the last 2 passes that were thrown his way.
And here's the stretch of the chain and the indication from Walt Coleman that the drive is still alive. Copeland injured a knee and was out for the season. 35 catches in his rookie season. And Dilfer had wide eyes talking about this guy's talent.
Yeah. And, you know, that's the guy that is going to keep defenses from creeping up the line of scrimmage and stopping the running game because he has explosive outside speed.
One back set again, 2 tight ends. Jackie Harris off the line. Allstott, Daryl Gardner, number 92. One of those in on the tackles. And Corey Harris, number 25. There's Gardner and Harris. Harris, unrestricted free agent signed from Seattle in the offseason.
He's playing his 4th different position, his Corey Harris, in his 6-year NFL career, including playing some running back a few years ago at Green Bay.
Second down and 8. Dunn in the backfield, goes in motion right. Dilfer intercepted. First time Zach Thomas has it. And the streak comes to an end. That's the first interception for Dilfer since the game against Minnesota December 15th last year.
Zach Thomas is only 5'11", but he always seems to make the play when his team needs it. And boy, do they need a play from him right now. Started on a kind of a rush and backs off. Knocked it up in the air with his left hand. You know, a guy that's been equally good in the passing game as well as the running game.
And I think Trent Dilfer kind of forced that pass. It was tipped at the line right up there by Zach Thomas, but he forced that in there, had a little pressure in his face. Instead of getting rid of the ball, he's not as mobile as he was at the beginning of the game. He forced that ball out there.
First and 10, Miami trailing by 7 with 92 seconds to go first quarter. Abdul-Jabbar at left tackle. They've averaged only 2 yards per attempt on first down. That's another one of their offensive problems.
Well, I think Jimmy Johnson has really lost confidence in his offensive line. And Abdul-Jabbar, as you said before, he's a solid running back. That's not an endorsement by Jimmy Johnson. If you're not great, if you're not out there doing the job, solid doesn't get it done. But he still believes under this offense he can get 1,000 yards if he gets enough carries.
Second down and 8. From the 30. Marino, quick setup. Knocked away.
You know, Vern, once again, second game in a row where we haven't seen much separation between the Miami receivers and the defensive backs. That time Fred Barnett runs a little hook route on Anthony Parker. I tell you, and again, 2 weeks in a row, these guys have not been getting open. Fred Barnett's calling for pass interference, but boy, they struggled last week.
26 incomplete passes in Green Bay. Johnson broke them all down. He said 10 bad pass routes, 8 bad throws among the other incompletions. Third and 8. Four wide receiver set. Blitz. Picked up. Marino goes deep. Post pattern way downfield. No! John Lynch dives for an incomplete pass. I thought Barnett had it. Marino thought Barnett had it.
Barnett thought Barnett had it. Great throw. I'm not so sure, yeah, you got to have possession when you hit the ground. Another look. No, did not have possession when he hit the ground. I'll tell you, Jarvis McPhail made a nice pickup on the blitz, though.
Now Kyle Richardson on in place of John Kidd. Oops. They come. No flag. Williams. Oh my gosh.
Bad play there.
Oh. He's not going to enjoy film study on Monday.
He won't be getting that special teams player of the week.
No leather couch for Carl Williams. The special teams coach, Joe Marciano, last year, wherein the special teams player of the week gets to sit in a huge overstuffed leather couch during tape sessions. and then the special teams player of the year takes it.
And everybody else is in those really, upright, uncomfortable chairs. And we noticed you lounging in the special teams chair yesterday.
Went right for it. Age has its benefits.
Privileges, I guess, age before beauty. But the other thing in that, they make a rookie go out and get that guy breakfast, which I thought was kind of unique. You can pick your own rookie out to get your breakfast while you get the Barker Lounger.
23 seconds to go. First quarter of play, 7-0. Dilfer, handoff to Dunn, who is hit behind the line, loses his helmet. Dunston Anderson, number 71, made the initial contact. Warwick Dunn, 5'7", 178 pounds. All-American, of course, at Florida State, out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the lead as we reach the end of one. Touchdown pass from Guilford Allstott, 7-0 Buccaneers. 74,000 plus have filled every seat here at Houlihan Stadium in Tampa. The second home game for these guys, and they are for real, Pat.
They definitely are, and sorry about that,
That's
Pat.
okay. Take the spot again.
They're believing in themselves right now, and that's what's most important.
Here's Dilfer in trouble. No, they missed the tackle, and Dilfer maneuvers in the backfield and finds Dunn. Gets a block from Riedel Anthony downfield. Well, my goodness, Miami had him wrapped up, and they wind up with a 28-yard gain.
That's the thing about Trent Dilfer. I mean, he is a big guy, 234 pounds, and he is hard to bring down when you're trying to sack him. He bounces off a lot of defensive linemen.
And not only that, I talked about playing as a team. How many times you see a Florida guy blocking for a Florida State guy?
About as often as a Pitt guy blocks for a Penn State fellow. Or USC Notre Dame.
Well, we do that occasionally.
Texas Lutheran, Southwest
There
Texas
you go.
State. Get it closer to home. First down and 10. Allstott. At the end of the first quarter of play, statistically, it tilted toward Tampa Bay. Look at the yards per play, 1.7. And the total passing yards, 9 for the Dolphins.
I like this with the third down conversions. You see, Tampa Bay was 3 of 3 there. And Miami had 3 series the first quarter. On 2 of them, they went 3 plays and out.
Looking at a second down and 6 here. Dilfer picked off on the last Tampa Bay possession, his first interception of the season. That's Dave Moore in motion. Screen pass, left side to Allstott. He gets a block on the left side from Tony Mayberry, number 61.
Mike Allstott is out moosing the moose. I mean, he needs a nickname when he walks into a stadium. He needs people yelling, screaming something. Maybe it's Mike or whatever, because this guy is as versatile as Johnston, a better runner, and a very good receiver. As we said, he caught 65 passes a year ago, has caught a touchdown tonight, and has a way for a big guy of being able to kind of feel his way around defenders.
That ball popped out of there, but luckily enough for them, it got knocked out of bounds.
When you're 3-0, you get some breaks, don't you?
You definitely do, particularly at home.
Yeah.
Buccaneers with another first down inside the 40-yard line of Miami. First and 10. Warwick Dunn. Well, many of you perhaps saw the really incredible Green Bay, Minnesota game this afternoon. Brad Johnson throwing 13 in a row in the second half. The Vikings lost, but they came from way back at Green Bay, and they host the Philadelphia Eagles next Sunday night at 7 o'clock with Pro Football Tonight. Then the tip at 8 o'clock. Pat, Mark, and I will be there at the Met.
Vikings with the pair of the most physical receivers in the National Football League.
Jake Reed had 9 for 119 today. Second down and 8. Guilford and Allstott. Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor. Taylor, rookie from Akron.
We talked about the Bucs being 3-0, Vern, and everybody I think at this point expected an NFC Central team to be 3-0, but everybody was picking that team from Wisconsin. But Tony Dungy has made a big, big difference. He's turned their attitude around first. And when you turn the franchise around, that's what you need to do first.
3rd and 4. They're 3 of 3 on third down conversions thus far. Blitz. For Jackie Harris, the tight end, and a fresh set of downs at the 21-yard line.
You got to like the way that Trent Dilfer is spreading this ball and this offense around. We're talking about Warwick Dunn. We're talking about Mike Allstat. Let's talk about the offensive line. They're keeping his jersey clean. Right now, Trent Dilfer is concentrating on his wide receiver, the tight end Jackie Harris, right across the middle. That's a part of the offense that they had to get back, is getting it to the tight end. Look at the separation here between line and quarterback. That's absolutely beautiful. If you're an ex-offensive lineman, you love to see that.
There's Jerry Wunsch, number 71, a rookie second-round pick. They also loaded up with draft picks on this ball club, and they drafted well. Warwick Dunn bounces off a tackle. Tony Dungy was talking about the selection of Dunn in the 12th spot of this year's draft because of his size, some concern. And Tony told us they envisioned him as maybe a guy who got it 15 times, 5 runs, 5 receptions, and 5 returns per game. But he's much more durable than they thought.
Well, against the Lions, he carried the ball 24 times, and you watch him enough, and you see how many tackles he breaks. You know, they list him as 178, and you know, he walked into our meeting yesterday with a triple XL shirt on. At least that's what it was advertised in the front. We checked the back; it was actually only an XL. Little false advertising there by Warwick.
2nd down and 10, 9th play of the drive. Blitz again. Dilfer with a man in his face, has a man open.
That should have been a penalty.
And a flag is down at the 7-yard line.
Should have been a penalty, and it was. I'll tell you, good play calling by Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator of the Bucs. I mean, they're running the ball inside the tackles, they're getting the ball outside, they're running screens. And that was just kind of a pump and go to the wide receiver on the right side. There's Mike Shula right there.
Illegal contact on the defense, number 38. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Calvin Jackson, the defensive back, and it still sounds strange to say the name Shula and not have it mentioned in conjunction with the Dolphins.
Well, I think this Shula may be the next Shula to have a head coaching job in the NFL. The job that he's done with Trent Dilfer down here in Tampa Bay has been miraculous. And when you talk about the young and upcoming coaches, there are 2 here. Herman Edwards, the defensive secondary coach, and Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
Under 10 minutes to go, first half now. The 3rd threat for the Buccaneers. They scored in their opening drive. Zach Thomas ended the 2nd thrust with an interception. 1st and 10. 4-man rush by Miami. Into the flat to Warwick Dunn. 1-on-1. And a good job of open field tackling by Derek Rogers, number 59, who a year ago was a defensive end at Arizona State and is a wonderful success story.
You know, only played 1 year of college football as part of that success story, but he has got the one thing that Jimmy Johnson loves and desires, and that is tremendous speed. Joined the Air Force out of high school, 4 years there. First played football, what, in Okinawa? Touch football?
Right. Warwick Dunn limping a little as they break the huddle. 2nd down and 8. Here's Dunn. Tries left guard, where Paul Gruber and Jim Pine try to provide the blocks.
I mentioned Paul Gruber. 10 years he has labored. And labor is the word here when you've been in Tampa for those 10 years where they've lost and lost and lost again. And, you know, guys like Gruber and Tony Mayberry, the center, who have been around the longest time, can really appreciate this like few others.
The thing about these guys, if they were in a winning program and on a winning team, they'd be Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
the thing about how people vote for players for winning teams.
Well, he was the 4th pick in the draft in '88, and really is Mr. Anonymity because of the bad record here. He's played in 139 games, and 89 have been losses. At the 1, Carl Williams. A 12-yard gain. Corey Harris with the tackle.
And another 3rd down play by what has become, you know, at times a methodical offense and then an explosive offense. 3rd third down has been, they've been 5 for 5 on third down plays tonight. That is absolutely remarkable.
It's first and goal from the 1. Dunn and Allstott behind Dilfer. Play action. Allstott wide open. They know when they're in good hands.
They're going to name a sandwich or street or something after Mike Allstott here at Tampa. And I think the people here, the blue-collar types, love a guy like this, who gives you everything he has, every play, every game. And that's the definition of being open.
Michael Husted on for the extra point. Allstott with a pair. Dilfer has led the Bucks to a 14-point lead.
Tampa Bay Bucks lead 14-0, trying to go 4-0 for the first time since Leroy and Dewey Selman led this team from last to first in 1979. What impresses you about this team?
Well, I tell you what, the overall strength of the team is just amazing, both defensively and offensively. They got players that can come up with a lot of big plays.
Did you ever think the fans would come back like this?
Hey, I love it. We always knew that we had the best fans in the National Football League, and I think this is a demonstration of that.
Great fans, just not enough of them, but they're all here tonight. Let's go back to Vern.
Thank you, Craig. 1979, 10-6 under John McKay for the Buccaneers. They then defeated Philadelphia in the first round of the playoffs and hosted the Rams. Pat Hayden missed the game with an injured finger, and the Rams won it despite your absence, 9-0.
They won a lot despite my absence.
Special teams play at the 15. Spikes can't get it going.
I'll tell you, Miami's got to get this thing turned around one way or another, and it's going to, as always, it falls right back on his shoulders, Dan Marino's.
He'll have a chance again to lead this offense. The Dolphins find themselves trailing by 14. Beautiful night in Tampa, Florida, and the shots from above coming from the Goodyear blimp, the Spirit of Akron from Akron, Ohio, one of America's most enduring corporate images, and taking pictures of a rowdy crowd here in Tampa, a city that used to support the Tampa Bay Rowdies, the soccer team, 1979.
Stay up late?
No, too old. First down. Abdul-Jabbar out to the 15, while Marino off to a very slow start tonight. 1 of 7 for 9 yards.
Who would have?
Mark, you've known him for so long. You recruited him to Pittsburgh.
Right.
And Pat and you and I were talking last night. His body language is that of a guy in a very unhappy state right now.
He looked like he was whipped to me. And when you see a guy like that, you know he doesn't have his confidence. And he's got to get it back on the football field and very soon for the Dolphins.
At the 21. Play up, handoff. Jabbar with a spin move and a first down for Miami out to the 30-yard line before John Lynch, number 47.
A good running game will help a quarterback's confidence. And he has not had much of it this year. But a couple of good runs, the last 2 runs by Jabbar. He got a good hole on the left side. I think it was McIver coming around and making a nice pull. Richmond Webb down the field making a nice block. And but that's what they need. They need good first down running and good clutch running from Jabbar.
And a first down here, trailing 14 zip at the 30. Play action. Marino, deep left side. Incomplete, and that'll go in the books as a drop. Brian Manning.
And the frustration, although, you know, interesting. We were talking to the Miami officials last night, and they were saying, you know, Dan Marino generally will get on a veteran receiver and yell out. But the young guys like Brian Manning, a rookie, you know, he just encourages them. But you can say what you will, this guy's still the best drop back passer ever in football, and you see that's why we saw him frustrated last night for him.
Second down and 10. Manning, the rookie 6th-round pick out of Stanford. Here's Marino trying to maneuver out of trouble. Brad Culpepper was in quickly. Melvin Johnson defending, intended for Jabbar.
You know, Vern, you mentioned again the frustration of Marino. Not only has it just been the drop passes like we just saw there of Brian Manning, I think for the first time in his remarkable 15-year career, he's being questioned as a player. The talk has been come up, hey, we are going to pull him at some point perhaps and put in Craig Erickson.
Craig Erickson, who started his professional career here, also played collegiately for Jimmy Johnson at Miami. 3rd and 10, shotgun. Marino, first down up to the 43-yard line. McDuffie, a 14-yard gain.
Whenever Dan Marino has to complete a pass, he goes to O.J. McDuffie, particularly on 3rd down. He had 16 receptions going into this game. 9 of those have been for first down. Here's Danny Marino in the pocket, gets good protection. Right there, it's a great catch by McDuffie, but hey, these guys shouldn't bobble these balls. They should just take them, catch them, bring them into their bodies, and when guys drop balls, Danny loses confidence in them right off the bat. Barnett and McDuffie back into wideouts now. This is O.J. McDuffie in motion. Hand off to Abdul-Jabbar. Goes at right guard out across the 45, and Marcus Jones, the #1 draft pick who's playing in the spot occupied by Warren Sapp, makes the tackle.
3 good runs in a row by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Again, really when your team is struggling. Remember, they started their drive way back inside the 20-yard line, but it really was characterized or started by Jabbar's running.
Now Bernie Parmalee checks in at fullback on 2nd and 5. Marino, left side, finds his receiver open. That's McDuffie, and that's good for another first down at the Tampa Bay 45-yard line.
And I believe Danny Marino's getting on a roll now. No matter what type of pressure you put on a quarterback like that, if he's still got that quick release, he's going to complete some. And what it's going to take for this offense is everybody's got to catch the ball, but as Pat stated, you have to run the ball on first down, and you have to get at least 4 yards plus.
1st and 10, Gary Stevens, the offensive coordinator, to the far right as you look. Back split on 1st and 10. Marino drills it. Barnett at the 25.
Now you get some separation between yourself and the defender, and Danny Marino will give you a chance to run with the ball after the catch. And Fred Barnett on a crossing route had some room, left the defender behind him, the frozen rope by Marino, and it gives him a chance to run after the catch.
That's a gain of 20 and another Miami first down. This one at the Buccaneer 25. Audible by Marino as they come to the line. Hardy Nickerson looks on. They'll run it. Abdul-Jabbar spins inside the 20 to the 17.
You got to stay with that run. And Jimmy Johnson says, hey, we got to force it a little bit. We can't get away from it. Last week against Green Bay in a close ball game, they only ran the ball 6 times in the second half. They got the run going now. Jabbar's last 4 runs went for 6, 9, 5, and then 8 yards.
Jabbar with 38 yards now. It's 2nd down and 2, 45 yards last week against Green Bay. But the average 3 per. Good job of forcing it. Oh my goodness. Chidi Ahanatu made the tackle, but it was the corner coming up and forcing it inside.
Great presence by the defense. Chidi getting penetration upfield. But Pat, you have to wonder, they're having success running the ball behind 7-time Pro Bowler Richmond Webb on the left side. Why would you pitch outside and try to circle the defense against a defense that's geared for team speed?
The speed play.
Well, rather rapidly, we've gotten to the 2-minute warning. Miami with a threat, their first of the game. They need a score. They trail by 14.
hate machines. Huh. Sorry, Rosie.
Why don't we go to the new Sprint store at Radio Shack, George? They have Sprint's easy-to-use products.
And the know-how of Radio Shack.
They even showed Astro how to use his mobile phone.
They could even help you, Mr. J.
Astro has a mobile phone? Well, oh, Rhonda.
The new Sprint store at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Applebee's introduces luscious new combinations of our original riblets, paired with so-tender sirloin steak, or crispy golden chicken fingers, or classic Caesar salad. Combos so good most people describe them as outrageously juicy, tender and tangy, meaty and hearty, bodaciously good. Downright delicious original riblet combos.
You belong at Applebee's.
In a GMC Yukon, every day brings something to look forward to.
Looks like a little snow today.
With the most horsepower in its class and AutoTrack four-wheel drive, Yukon may change the way you feel behind the wheel.
Yeah!
Yukon by GMC. It puts you comfortably in command.
Just a reminder, at the half, the Wrangler halftime report. We'll be back here with no huddle highlights and also talk about Mike Ditka, whose Saints got a win, beating the Detroit Lions. What's with the Motown crew? We'll break that down as well at halftime. See you then.
All right, Vince Warren Sapp out of uniform on the sideline. Obviously doesn't have the same clothing deal as Vince, Sean, and Pete. That was a...
But he does have about as much gold as Vince and Sean Williams.
Yes, he does. Oh, boy. Now, on third down, 4 wide receivers for Dan Marino.
Heads up for this blitz.
1 of 4 on third down conversions there, next to last in the league. Marino left side, got it at the 15-yard line. O.J. McDuffie, Kenny Gant defending number 29.
Every quarterback likes to have a go-to guy, and as Mark was saying, O.J. McDuffie is that guy. But they need other receivers to get open more often, every down, every quarter. They haven't had that yet this year, because if you get open, he'll get you the ball.
When you talk to Marino and Jimmy Johnson and the other members of this team, they are frustrated. They are frustrated because they can't score inside the 20. 10 field goals on 13 trips. Here is Abdul-Jabbar to the right side at the 15. And John Lynch, Derek Brooks, number 55, collaborate defensively.
Yeah, just the converse or the inverse of the Bucs' success inside the 20-yard line. There's those 2 touchdowns, 29th as a percentage in the National Football League of scoring touchdowns. And again, what really comes down to is they have not run the ball well on first down. They didn't again there. As a matter of fact, they lost yardage on a first down run.
2nd and 10. Marino finds Dwayne Dotson, who makes his first catch of the season in the fullback spot. Time called as Gooch and Hardy Nickerson make the tackle. So the Dolphins use 1 of their allotted 3. Time called, Miami threatening.
All right, Artie, you going out for this one?
Oh, let's go.
Let's do it.
Blue. Hi.
I'm open.
These are the TNT originals. Movies that challenge us, comfort us, movies that become a part of our lives. These are the original motion pictures that only one studio could create. TNT, the best movie studio on television.
He was a cowboy like no other.
No close friends, lots of enemies.
A real-life bounty hunter who captured Geronimo and the Hole-in-the-Wall gang.
What do you want
want me to do? What do you want me to kill?
But he played by his own rules and did things the way he wanted until he finally went too far.
Any last words, Tom?
Relive the story of a frontier folk hero with Richard Widmark and David Carradine. Mr. Horn. Tuesday night at 8 on TNT. For those of you who think heroes don't exist. For you who don't believe a man can fly. For all you skeptics out there, it's time to take a closer look. It's time to believe.
I'm going to kill Superman.
No! I'd like to be alone with Superman.
Relive the adventure. Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. Monday through Saturday at
24 seconds remaining. Miami 2 timeouts left. 3rd and 6. Dan Marino has hit his last 5 passes. Richmond Webb comes left. Tim Ruddy points out a defensive alignment. And Marino in the shotgun. 4-wide set. Blitz. Here they come. Marino goes in the corner for McDuffie. Touchdown. His second touchdown pass of the season. And the 371st of his magnificent career.
Yeah, and touch of a masseuse on that one. I mean, he drilled the ball earlier to a wide open Fred Barnett. This time he kind of lobs it over the top of guys. I mean, they've run so many inside routes, so many slants. This time he fakes out, and the receiver comes up on a little chair route, as they call it, and O.J. McDuffie leaves his defender in the dust. Well-thrown ball with touch by Marino.
First TD catch of the year for McDuffie. Olindamare with the extra point. And Dan Marino a little happier than he was an hour ago.
Is that a new big, King? No, it's a bag, Coach. No, in the bag, son. Yes, sir, it is.
Well, what's a smart kid like you doing sitting on the bench? Get in there and play quarterback.
Really?
Like taking candy from a baby.
The new Big King from Burger King, flame broiled with 75% more beef. It's like a Big Mac, except it's bigger and tastes better. And right now, you can get one for just 99 cents.
Coach said I could play halfback.
Another shortcut to small business success from mailboxes, etc. Star in a commercial on the Super Bowl. You'll get national exposure plus $10,000. It's the See Your Small Business on the Super Bowl search. Enter now at mailboxes, etc.
In a GMC Yukon, you may welcome a little challenge.
A little mountain climbing.
With horsepower that leads its class, Yukon dominates the road.
Even towing feels like child's play.
Yukon by GMC. It puts you comfortably in command.
So where is she?
Meeting with someone about her finances.
The chief financial officer needs financial help. From whom?
I think it's her life insurance agent.
Northwestern Mutual Life.
22 seconds before the halftime break, 14-7. After that lengthy Marino-led drive, coming up at the Wrangler halftime report. The no-huddle highlights, Mike Ditka's first win with New Orleans. And Vince, Sean, and Keith will be along. Scores and highlights in the Wrangler halftime report. Olindamare getting ready to kick off. Carl Williams, the deep man for Tampa Bay. And if he runs this one back for a touchdown, it'll be the first time it's been done in the history of this franchise. There's an oddity. No Buccaneer has ever returned a kick. Onside kick. And it's taken by Steve White, number 94. So Mike Westhoff, the special teams coach, convinces Jimmy Johnson they should try it, and they don't get it. Let's take a look now at the GMC truck leaderboard. Jeff George, gaudy stats. Raiders lose on a blocked field goal. Terrell Davis of the Broncos with 215 yards. He's a pretty good sixth-round draft pick. And Tim Brown, 10 catches for 153 in the losing case. Terrell Davis now the 4th straight 100-yard game as the Broncos and the Patriots maintain their undefeated status. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are trying to join them in that category. The last time Tampa Bay was undefeated after 4, Pat Hayden was a quarterback for the Rams. Mark May was a junior at Pittsburgh. And I was on the shy side of 40. Halftime score, 14-7 Tampa Bay. Now let's join Vince, Keith, and Sean for the Wrangler halftime report.
Welcome to the Wrangler halftime report. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Advantage Tampa Bay at the half. Trent Dilfer twice to Mike Allstott, but a big touchdown before the half. Miami, Marino to McDuffie, 14-7 Buccaneers. And we welcome you to the Wrangler halftime report. I'm Vince Cellini along with Keith Jackson and Sean Jones. And gentlemen, it was Miami withstanding a pretty big emotional volcano down there at Houlihan Stadium to stay close.
You know what, they always saying that Tampa's the better team. Miami's going down there. They got to play big. I think that touchdown was very important for them going into the second half.
Just like last week, anytime you challenge Dan Marino, he seems to just rise to the occasion. It's going to be a great second half.
Yeah, I predicted overtime before the game. Oh, I said it again.
Why? No word. You said no word.
Let's get to the heart of the matter now, the bread and butter, the nuts and bolts. No huddle highlights. And you know what? This was the non-prime time Sunday afternoon, easily the best game of the year. It was Buffalo hosting Indianapolis. The Bills were down 26-0 in this game. Remember they rallied big against the Oilers in the playoffs, down 35-3. Well, Antoine Smith scores their third touchdown of the game. Then Paul Justin coming in for the injured Jim Harbaugh hits Marvin Harrison with a touchdown to cut it to 37-35. Colts go for 2. It is not there, and Justin is absolutely beside himself because he believes Harrison was interfered with by Kurt Schultz. Take another look, and Schultz is just draped all over him, but no call there. Now the Colts recover an onside kick, so they have one last chance, 2 seconds left. Justin throws it up, but it is picked off by Ken Irvin and Buffalo.
156 touchdown passes. Packers win 38-32, and there's Brett showing the ball. Thank you, Mom. Get at the dad.
Baltimore at Tennessee. Look at that crowd. So much for that walk-up crowd the Oilers were talking about. But it's Vinny Testaverde in the Liberty Bowl. 3 TD passes on the 2 of them to Derek Alexander. Ravens win 36-10.
I got your walk-up crowd. Chicago, New England, winless versus unbeaten. Drew Bledsoe, 2 touchdown passes. This one to Troy Brown, 52 yards out. Pats are 4-0, Bears 0-4.
Detroit versus New Orleans, the winless versus the clueless. Mario Bates wasn't over 162 yards in the game, including this 74-yarder right here. Super Mario, as they call him. Ran for 2 touchdowns, threw for 1 touchdown, and Saints win 35-17.
You know, it's quite a website, CNNSI.com. All the info you need on the NFL, baseball, hoop, you name it. Call up CNNSI.com and enjoy. Following the Dolphins-Bucks, Mercedes-Benz.
Okay. We've reached the end of halftime in Tampa, Houlihan Stadium, where a sellout crowd has enjoyed the fireworks provided outside the stadium and on the field by the home-standing Buccaneers. Statistically, Tampa Bay with the better of it in passing yards, first downs. Excellent third down rate. Excellent. You can't improve on it. And the time of possession overwhelmingly in favor of Tampa as well. But Miami scored on that last and very significant drive. Vern Lundquist along with Pat Hayden and Mark May. Mike Allstott, big first half.
You know, we started talking about Warwick Dunn, but Allstott has had a sensational first half. You know, if you look at the raw statistics, you know, didn't have a lot of yards, but, you know, 4 catches, 2 of those were for touchdowns. He was a lead blocker for Warwick Dunn a lot, and then had 7 carries besides that. Not phenomenal numbers, but he's always doing something positive for his team.
Mark, your old college teammate, started slowly, but finished with a flurry at the end.
Yes, he did. Started off 1 for 9, but completed his last 6. And what's important here is they scored, and more importantly than that, they scored in the red area, and that's a big morale booster for this football team.
Only the 2nd touchdown there this season. Here is the kick taken by Carl Williams at the 5-yard line. Moves it out near the 25-yard line, from which point Trent Dilfer and the Buccaneers will go on offense, and we check in with Greg Sager.
Well, Vern, Jimmy Johnson told his defense at halftime he wants to see Trent Dilfer on the ground. He said for the 2nd week in a row they've been putting on a rush, but the quarterback's been getting out of there and making big plays. It was Brett Favre last week, Trent Dilfer this week. He said, I want Dilfer sacked. The offense got the team back in the game. If they make some big plays, he says they'll be all right. Vern?
All right, Greg, from the 25-yard line, first down and 10. Allstott, the lone setback. They go with the power set again. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Dave Moore comes back to the right. Play action for Dilfer. Wants a bunch. Goes deep right side. Copeland one-on-one. The flag is thrown.
Yeah, that might be offensive. Yeah, that might be offensive. Terrell Buckley, I think, has a legitimate complaint.
I'll tell you what, Pat, when two guys go up and fight for the football, I think it should be fair. It looked like there's a lot of pushing. It looked like two guys are fighting for the football, and it usually goes against the home team.
On the defense, number 27.
I was wrong. That was not on Horsko. He did not push off.
And I don't think either of them did. I think it's good defense.
Yeah, it is
both
good
guys
defense.
fighting for the ball.
Absolutely. That should not be a penalty.
Right here, the concentration on both guys going for the ball. That's not a push off. I don't agree with that one.
Yeah, let him play.
Man, that's costly. 41 yards. Jimmy Johnson exasperated by the call. Rob Thomas in for Copeland now. On first down and 10, a 41-yard penalty. Allstott bounces off a tackle and comes right. Trent Dilfer telling us yesterday the first man will not bring him down.
Cinder block with legs. I mean, he kept churning and bouncing off people. I mean, you need to gang tackle this guy. I kind of like these new pewter and.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm convinced.
You're a pewter fan?
Yeah, I am. It's well, both teams that have changed uniforms in the NFL this year are what, 7-0?
Right.
Yeah, Denver's 4-0, and.
Well, and the Patriots have a snarling guy on their helmet.
That's
now.
true, yeah.
Pewter power.
Pewter power. 2nd and 8.
Didn't the Dolphins change their uniforms a little bit? They have a new actual dolphin, and I was told earlier this summer that it is a meaner-looking dolphin. That was the word I was.
Meaner
yeah, that's
dolphin?
what I was told. Yeah, they changed the look of the dolphin. It's a meaner-looking dolphin.
Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Not only that, Pat, but also tonight for the first time since Don Shula, the Dolphins are wearing white on white. Under Jimmy Johnson, they wore aqua tops and white pants, or the opposite way around. But tonight he changed his uniforms as well, white on white.
See?
All right, Craig.
Yeah. Hang around, Craig. You always find out something, don't you?
It sounds like a song, you know, Procol Harum, whiter shade of pale.
Ooh, man. I'll tell you. Now, you could make Paul Harvey look hip. And you're quoting. What?
Oh, dear.
What group? Man.
Procol Harum. You remember them. 1979. Last time the Bucs were undefeated. 2nd down and 3. Warwick Dunn, left side. Allstott got one man out of the way, but there were 3 more to fill the gap, and Zach Thomas was the leader of the pack.
You know, Zach Thomas isn't a big guy. They list him at 5'11". When we met him yesterday, Pat, he was more like 5'9", but I guess if he had a neck, he'd be 6'2" or 6'3". But he plays like a big guy. Zach's got 8 tackles already tonight. And he's come back off that broken leg, and each week Jimmy Johnson says he's getting better and better because he's getting in condition. You know, like
Hardy Nickerson is the soul of the Bucs defense. Zach Thomas is the main man on the Dolphins defense.
5th-round draft pick a year ago from Texas Tech by way of Tampa, up in the panhandle of Texas. 3rd and short. Warwick Dunn at the 20 in a battle with Terrell Buckley. Buckley not all that big. He's 5'9", 180.
Warwick Dunn can score from anywhere on the field, but he can also give you surprising power, as he did right there. Bouncing off tacklers, bounced off Zach Thomas, and did not go down easily.
But Pat, it also helps when your blockers move the pile 5 yards down the field. It's easy to pick up those first downs.
Yeah, this is an emerging offensive line for the Bucs this year.
He had back-to-back games of over 100, only 15 yards tonight. They've used Allstott much more. Here's Dilfer. That one is tipped in the line and incomplete, intended for Jackie Harris, who is being covered by Zach Thomas.
But I think that's what makes the Bucs, you know, a rather dangerous team in that, you know, you can bottle up Warwick Dunn and bottle him up, and he gets 2 yards here, 3 yards here. The next time you hand him the ball, maybe he goes 40 or 50 yards. I mean, they can be methodical and they can be explosive.
Well, they announced this as the start of a new tradition. I always thought traditions were the product of time, but they raised the red flags Jolly Roger style when they get inside the 20, signaling an impending attack. And there's Harris with the grab at the 10. The tight end from Northeast Louisiana, tackled by Corey Harris.
And that's a strong arm throw, Mark. I mean, you saw Trent Dilfer throwing off his back feet under duress, but I tell you, you've got to have a strong arm to be able to do that.
But the pressure on the defense is in his face. Not one defender, but two. They don't bite on the fake, and there's Trace Armstrong right there coming after him, but he throws that ball with strength in his arm. They wanted to go to the tight end, Jackie Harris, in the red area, and this is an excellent example of them going to him. Getting the first down. Tight ends play such an instrumental part in any offense, but in the red area, those are the key receivers.
Yeah, and I really thought about it. I saw watch Green Bay today, and Brett Favre throw 5 touchdowns. More and more so in the inside the 20 in the NFL. You need to have a quarterback who can really drill it because of all the zone defenses. You need no longer much man for man. You need a quarterback that can drill the ball into small areas.
First and goal inside the 10. Tampa perfect tonight. 2 touchdowns, 2 trips. Blitz coming. All stop coming. And he picks up 5. Still churning.
Another incredible run. Last week it was the 1-yard run. I don't know how many yards you gained in this one. Not a lot, but you can appreciate how many.
See the block by Dilfer?
Yeah. Again, just an absolutely determined guy. I mean, you think he's down, but he's not. I mean, he is a whistle-to-whistle kind of guy. You better hear the whistle.
Look at right at the end, the quarterback, Dilfer, coming in and throwing his shoulder, little elbow shot in there. Hey, this is a big guy, 6'4", 235 pounds. Why not lay it out for the rest of your team?
Yeah, and this Buck team is for real. No fluke.
Second and goal. Warwick Dunn. He's bounced backwards by Zach Thomas.
He's now 5'3". Thanks to Zach.
Well, his story well documented from Florida State, how his mother, a policewoman in Baton Rouge, shot and killed when he was a senior in high school. He is the legal guardian for his 5 siblings, now ranging in age from 14 to 20. They live with their grandmother in Baton Rouge, and Warwick telling us yesterday they're all doing fine. He, by the way, is earning a reputation as alligator arms.
Is he?
A little tight with the money, yeah. He's living in a $40 a day hotel room. Batted down by Dilfer.
It was by Shane Burton, who knocked it down, rejected it. Call that a Tagliabue burger when it gets smacked back to your face.
But Tony Dungy has to really be happy with his offense. The most important drive of a football game in the second half is that first one. If you can take the ball down, move it down the field, get a sustained long drive and get points out of it, that really helps your football team.
They being Tampa Bay, so proficient inside the 20. This is only the 5th field goal attempt of the year for Michael Husted. And it comes from 22 yards out. Husted is now 4 of 5. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers crack open the second half. With a sustained drive, it ends in a Husted field goal, and they increase their lead to 10.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Keep on trucking with Burt Reynolds in Smokey and the Bandits. Wednesday night at 8. The new classics are on TNT.
From the hardest turf to the softest heart.
You will always be special to me.
This September, TNT celebrates those who play a little harder, fall in love a little deeper, and go a little further to make themselves the best.
It's all right to take a chance.
Believe in one another.
Ascend the highest heights, all this month on TNT.
He was a cowboy like no other.
No close friends, lots of enemies.
A real-life bounty hunter who captured Geronimo and the Hole-in-the-Wall gang.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to kill?
But he played by his own rules and did things the way he wanted until he finally went too far.
Any last words, Tom?
Relive the story of a frontier folk hero with Richard Widmark and David Carradine. Mr. Horn. Tuesday night at 8 on TNT.
Sunday night, NFL on TNT. Outside the dome, nighttime will fall. But inside, the crowd will rise for this NFC clash. Last year, both the Eagles and the Vikings made the playoffs. Now, both teams look to move to the next level. Watch Minnesota's hounding defense take on Ricky Watters and Philadelphia. Sunday night, NFL on TNT. The best time to see the Eagles battle the Vikings. Coverage begins next Sunday at 7 Eastern, only on TNT.
10-point Tampa lead as they try to go up 4-0 on their Central Division foes. And here is Michael Husted with the kick. Spikes and Harris are deep. Spikes at the 2, bobbles it. How many times have we seen that happen?
I'm not sure, but I just saw it once tonight.
Rob Thomas saves the touch. Spikes with the bobble and then returns it 41 yards. So the Dolphins find themselves down by 10, but they have the ball.
Presented by the authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the National Football League is prohibited.
Sellout crowd at hand at Houlihan Stadium. Both Tony Dungy and Jimmy Johnson agreed field position would play a big role in this one, and Miami gets it with a 41-yard return by Spikes. They begin at their own 43-yard line. Marino into the flat. Abdul-Jabbar with the grab to the 45. This Wednesday night, see Burt Reynolds in one of his most famous roles. Check out Smokey and the Bandit, one of the new classics on TNT. Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central.
Anybody else in that movie that we know?
I think one of those NFL quarterbacks are in ex-NFL quarterbacks are in that movie.
Howie Long's running buddy,
Yeah.
I think it's yeah.
And Smokey, the old, isn't he the mascot of the University of Tennessee too? He's in the movie.
Dilfer on the sidelines. Miami with a 2nd down and 8. Backs are split. Marino screen left side. Abdul-Jabbar across the 50 all the way to the 42-yard line. Melvin Johnson and Anthony Parker catch up with it.
Good call by Gary Stevens, the offensive coordinator of Miami. The first true screen they have run tonight. Marcus Jones, number 78, is going to get some pressure inside early, but you want, as long as it didn't get your quarterback too quickly, that's what you invite those guys upfield. You dump the ball off to Jabbar, and it really is a nice change of pace. We haven't seen much of that, those change of pace kind of plays from Miami this season.
That's a gain of 13, a first down at the 43 in a 10-point game midway through quarter number 3. Marino with time again, deep left side, man open. Tipped away from Barnett at the last second by Melvin Johnson.
Okay, that's what your center fielder, your free safety, has to do. When the ball is in the air for that long, your free safety has got to cover a lot of ground. Barnett was open, but he gets some great help from Melvin Johnson. The corner does. And again, when the ball's in the air for a long time, you've got to have a center fielder that can make up that kind of territory, and Johnson did there.
Reggie Russ coming over to help, number 26. He's out now on 2nd down and 10. Marino 9 of 18, 50%. Across the middle for his tight end, Troy Drayton. That is only the 5th catch this year for the tight end.
And again, when your quarterback is struggling, a tight end can be a great friend. And again, thinking about Gary Stevens, the offensive coordinator, and you see as you look at Marino's statistics, is he has always liked to use the fullback and the tight end. There's Gary Stevens right here. Now his fullback, Stanley Pritchett, is out for 2 or 3 months, and that is a big blow to their offense.
Pritchett with an operation, one of 9 surgeries to accompany 2 broken legs for the Dolphins since they opened training camp back in July. 1st and 10. 7:12 to go, 3rd quarter. Abdul-Jabbar goes right. And Brad Culpepper, number 77, is the first man there to make the tackle. Culpepper who was once cut by Tony Dungy when he played for the Minnesota Vikings, and Dungy was his defensive coordinator. You suppose when he opened up the paper and saw who his new coach was, he thought, uh-oh.
Yeah. I bet he was happy because now he's gotten an opportunity to move from defensive tackle to nose tackle, which is big for him. He's been known as a backup, but he's a starter down here at the nose tackle position because he can occupy two and free up the linebackers to roam and make tackles.
Tony Dungy makes Job look like a lottery winner. You know, he just does not change emotions.
Parmalee in the backfield. Play action. Quick flip out to the left side. Bernie Parmalee makes the grab, and Melvin Johnson, number 25, is there to make the tackle. It'll be third down.
Yeah.
And let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Vern, while Marino's on the field, Trent Dilfer warming up on the sidelines on that first drive. His right forearm hit one of the opposing helmets on the Dolphin pass rush. He's had some tightening in his arm, so he wants to keep it loose while he's off the field, but he should be all right.
3rd and 7, and the Dolphins go with a 4-wide receiver set. Marino's favored on 3rd and long. 5:45 to go. 3rd quarter. Marino incomplete.
Again, a little off between the quarterback and the wide receiver. Marino expecting that the wide receiver, Charles Jordan, to come inside a little bit, threw the ball inside. Charles Jordan reads something else, and that's part of the problem. In your passing game, your quarterback and the wide receiver have to see the same thing, and they aren't.
Well, Lindamare comes on to kick a field goal for the 12th time. He's made 10 of 11, but the longest so far in his rookie season has been 34 yards. This one from 47. He's made them in practice from 64. This one is tipped in the line.
I've seen that a lot today. The Raiders had a field goal blocked at the end of the game. Jets beat them. We saw it last week. A lot of blocked kicks going around the NFL this season.
Marcus Jones got the tip.
Now the Isuzu practically amazing play of the day happened in the Raider-Jet game in the 4th quarter. Cole Ford trying a field goal against the Jets, blocked by Corwin Brown. Ray Mickens has it for the Jets, 72 yards back the other way for a touchdown, a Jet lead, and eventually the win. Our Isuzu practically amazing play of the day.
Want to see it again? You will shortly. Sellout crowd, blocked field goal here. And Lindamare is now 10 of 12 in his rookie season. 1st down and 10. Dilfer back at quarterback. Dunn goes left and is down at the 38.
Let's go back to that blocked field goal. Tim Ruddy is playing right guard. Ordinarily, he's right there. Ordinarily, he is the center, but he just gets blown back 4 yards into the backfield by Manecki, and then Marcus Jones, number 78, just keeps pushing. But you've got to hold your ground there on those field goals. Your kicker's never going to have a shot.
Oh, come on, Pat. Give him a chance. He had 2 300-pounders, one on each meat hook. There's no way you can hold those guys off by yourself.
You do a better job of holding them, don't you?
Under 5 to go 3rd quarter. 2nd down. Dilfer in front of the defender at the 48-yard line. The catch is made by Riedel Anthony. One of 2 first-round picks, he and Dunn this year. A gain of 11 and a 1st down.
And the difference in both of these teams' passing game is the separation by the wide receivers to get away from the defensive backs. And I think that all relates to the running game. Yeah. If you've got a strong, solid running game, the wide receivers have more opportunities on the 2nd downs and the 3rd downs where they can separate from those defensive backs.
As Marino looks at maybe the script of Smokey and the Bandit Part 6.
There may be a spot for him.
We're back to play at the 50. On 1st down, Scott. Oh, he is something.
There are going to be a bunch of guys in this Buck team that make the Pro Bowl if they keep winning. There is a penalty on the play. I think it was a face mask. But because these guys don't get on national television much, people don't know them. But they have emerging stars, and Allstott is one of them. Rich McKay, the general manager, has done a great job of drafting guys, and Tony Dungy has done a terrific job of coaching them.
5 yards on the defense. First down.
And I'll tell you what, this team reminds me a lot of the Redskin team in the early 80s. We started off 0-5 in our first year under Joe Gibbs. Tony Dungy starts off 0-5 in his first year. We end up 8-8. They end up winning a bunch of games at the end of the season. Now you're looking at a team that really believes himself with a lot of young players and a mixture of a couple of old guys that lead this team.
Jimmy Johnson's first team went 1-15 in Dallas. Here's Dilfer with a great fake and a man deep. Caught, touchdown, Riedel Anthony. I mean, what a turnaround for Dilfer. 19 interceptions a year ago. Now he's got 3 touchdowns tonight alone.
Yeah, and it looked like Boomer Esiason on the fake there. And then when you run the ball as well as they have tonight and this season, the safeties can't help the corners. And I tell you, Riedel Anthony, caught 18 touchdowns a year ago at the University of Florida. And catches a nice touchdown there with a well-thrown ball by Trent Dilfer.
Corey Harris is the man victimized by the play fake. Michael Houston hammers home the extra point. Pandemonium in Tampa Bay. Michael Houston with the kick taken by Spikes. Out of bounds up across the 30-yard line. 24-7. Trent Dilfer, 15 of 20 a week ago. He's 16 of 20 tonight. Sellout crowd here in Tampa Bay tonight. They've also sold out 2 other games later in the season, and that has not been common. And look at the kind of offense they've generated tonight. 3 touchdowns, a field goal, 1 interception, and the half ended 1 drive.
And look at some of the drives. You got a 59-yarder, and you got a 76-yarder, you got a 70-yarder there. I mean, they are really controlling the line of scrimmage. And again, we talked about it, Mark, an emerging offensive line.
Well, the happiest guy out there's got to be the punter, Tommy Bonhart. He hasn't kicked the punt yet.
First down and 10. McDuffie in motion. Marino pulls up and finds Barnett, who slips down the middle. Derek Brooks with the tackle, number 55, who is emerging as an outstanding linebacker for this ball club.
And down by 17 points, the Miami Dolphins cannot spend too much time in the huddle. I mean, this is the game that, you're down by 17, 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. You still got to think about, hey, we've got to get on the board multiple times.
In these situations, when they're blitzing Danny Marino from the outside, he's a quarterback that's not going to beat Michael Johnson in a 40-yard dash. They need to blitz him right up the middle, so he's got to scatter from side to side and put pressure on their offense.
You saw the measurement, good for the first down for the Dolphins, trailing by 17 with 3 to go, third quarter. Marino now 12 of 22 for 106. Steps up, lets it go. Leaping catch made by Drayton, the tight end.
Okay, we said some receivers have to emerge for the Dolphins this season, this game, every quarter. I mean, they need guys making plays, and Troy Drayton just makes one right there. Mark, you're talking about Dan Marino in the pocket. He hops up, shuffles up to be able to deliver the ball, and then a remarkable catch by Troy Drayton, the tight end.
Second catch for Drayton tonight. The gain is 24, the first down at the 37-yard line. Oh, my goodness, Manecki gets through
Abdul-Jabbar does slip that tackle. And then Hardy Nickerson, number 56, picks him up. There's Jason Manecki, second-year man from Wisconsin.
He's one of the guys that got a big push on that blocked field goal. He and Marcus Jones. And you mentioned Derek Brooks a moment ago. Hardy Nickerson on that tackle. They've got a lot of guys who can cover a lot of ground.
Warren Sapp not playing tonight. Severely injured ankle. Sapp with 3.5 sacks already. Here's Marino across the middle. Caught Abdul-Jabbar out of the backfield. And Derek Brooks, number 55, makes the stop. Brooks, a young man who was an academic All-American at Florida State, and now pursuing his master's degree in communications.
Yeah, this guy will be a Pro Bowl player at some point. As a matter of fact, he wears a shirt every day underneath his shoulder pads that says 1997 Pro Bowl that was given to him by his teammate Hardy Nickerson.
3rd and 1. Marino, incomplete. Anthony Parker jolted Barnett, and then Brooks dived for the interception but couldn't hang on.
Well, I'll tell you.
And Parker is down.
Yeah, Tampa's got some really good corners. A veteran one in Anthony Parker in his 8th year. Donnie Abraham, a great corner in his 2nd year. And that is Anthony Parker driving on the ball. As soon as you see the 3-step drop, you begin to drive. And they're saying, yeah, the ball absolutely did touch the ground. Good
4th and 1. Big hole, left guard, first down, Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, big hole that they probably should have gotten a little bit more out of, Mark. You know, sometimes in those short yardage plays, you can pop it through. It looked like he had a chance to get a big hole and a big run, but he slipped right at the end.
Right there, when you're going through a hole like this as a running back, you've got to explode right now. He gets an arm tackle right there, but he just slips on the turf, and there is nothing but real estate in front of him between there and the end zone.
Wide sprint in backfield behind Marino on first down. No blitz, just a standard 4-man rush. Marino comes left, finds Barnett, who slips a tackle of Jeff Gooch, number 50, and moves it down to the 11-yard line. That's a gain of 11. And we have reached the end of 3. Dolphins had a very important drive to end the first half. They hope to end this drive as we begin the 4th quarter right after these messages.
Nutrigen
24-7 Tampa Bay as we start the 4th quarter. Vern Lundquist, Pat Hayden, Mark May, and Craig Sager. And those shots from overhead provided by the Goodyear blimp. They've been flying blimps for over 70 years and providing television coverage for more than 30 years. Tonight, the Spirit of Akron from Akron, Ohio.
What happened to the one in Pompano Beach? I mean, here we're in Tampa, right?
I can't figure the logistics out.
Long way from Akron.
Yeah, Pompano Beach is a little closer, right? Wonder if it could be in Jacksonville. First down. Marino. Drayton. First and goal, Miami.
You know, it seems with great players in the National Football League, the really great ones, every time you challenge them, they respond. Dan Marino has been challenged this year, and he is responding again tonight when his team desperately needs him, down by 17 points, hitting all the key passes, and this time he did get outside the pocket mark, moved around a little bit, finds his tight end again, who's becoming more and more of a target for him.
Drayton with his 3rd catch gives Miami a first and goal. Here's where the problems have persisted in the first 3 games for Miami. A little better tonight. Abdul-Jabbar cuts in, touchdown Miami.
Good set-up run. It looked like he was going to try to dash for the very corner of the end zone, cut it back inside, and easily scored.
Not only a set-up run, Pat, that was a great series for the Miami Dolphins. Danny Marino in this offense systematically going down the football field. Here you're going to see Jabbar. He's going to make a plant right there, cut the ball back inside, and Derek Brooks, the linebacker, has no chance of getting him.
Miami offense with 3 touchdowns in the first 3 games. They've gotten a couple tonight. Murray's extra point is up and good out of Kyle Richardson's hold. A 71-yard drive in 9 plays, 4 minutes and 25 seconds off the clock. Dolphins cut the lead to 10.
Jumping Jupiter, what is this?
The new Sprint store at Radio Shack, George.
You could win communications for life.
I could win? Let's roll, let's roll.
It's the 21st century.
Win long distance, mobile phones, accessories.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Win communications for life?
Don't even think about it.
The new Sprint store at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
On September 26th, the threat is real.
Guy got away with a bomb.
George Clooney, Nicole Kidman, The Peacemaker, rated R. Starts Friday, September 26th.
Like that accountant I told you about? Did me a huge favor. Gave my name to his life insurance agent. Didn't do that for me.
Northwestern Mutual Life.
For those of you who think heroes don't exist, for you who don't believe a man can fly, for all you skeptics out there, it's time to take a closer look. It's time to believe.
I'm going to kill Superman.
No! I'd like to be alone with Superman.
Relive the adventure. Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. Monday through Saturday at 7 p.m. exclusively on TNT.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets his second rushing touchdown of the season, his first tonight. That cuts the lead to 10. Tony Dungy, calming influence on this ball club, evident in the play, I think, of Dilfer.
Yeah, he's turned his quarterback around. I think he's begun to turn this franchise around. As we said, this is not a fluke. These Bucks are for real. Good, young, aggressive defense and a very productive offense.
And Danny Marino, after a very slow start, has come on strong.
Well, he has. He started off 1 for 9, but now he's brought his team back. And this is what they need mentally. They need their leader, and Danny Marino, to go out there and drive him down the football field, and that's just what he's done.
Carl Williams with the kickoff. Out near the 28-yard line. Tim Jacobs, number 34, makes the tackle.
Just kind of following up on Tony Dungy, you realize the Buccaneers do not have a penalty tonight? Oh, what the Raiders would give for that.
Under Tony Dungy, a 1-8 start. It really began, the turnaround did, with an overtime win against Oakland here. Then they went on the road, lost. They fell behind, I beg your pardon, to San Diego, 14 points. Came back and won that one. They wound up winning 5 of their last 7 last season. Flags down. Warwick Dunn, the ball carrier. We'll see if this one stands.
And Vern, just kind of finishing up the thought about Tony Dungy and this franchise. I mean, again, these 3 wins this year, 2 of them on the road against division opponents, and the 49ers at home.
Offside on the defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Jason Taylor offside.
You know, again, as we said at the very beginning of this broadcast, everybody says, hey, players win. You know, coaches coach, but players win the games. Well, that's mostly true, but in unique circumstances like here, you can make a tremendous difference, and he has.
Well, he became a defensive assistant coach in Pittsburgh at the age of 25 and a coordinator shortly thereafter. And people said for years he was going to be a head coach. One almost thought the window of opportunity might close for him. Here's the handoff to Allstott, and he moves the pile out near the 38-yard line.
Now, remember when the Portland Trailblazers passed on Michael Jordan and picked Sam Bowie? I mean, there's some people that passed on Tony Dungy that shouldn't have.
Well, the interesting thing here, of course, Tony Dungy was not the first choice for the job. Right. The first choice was Jimmy Johnson. And Jimmy said he'd rather pursue the Miami dream. And then they went after Steve Spurrier. He said he wanted to stay in Florida and was afraid this franchise was going to leave, which it was close to doing. So Dungy, and then he had to go through 2 interviews before he was hired. 2nd and 1. Allstott again. Oh, boy.
You know, just finishing the thought on the 2 interviews that he went through, Rich McKay, the general manager of the Bucs, said, he didn't really interview well that first time. And Tony's told us last year that, hey, I didn't interview well. Never did. But they got it right on the second interview.
Personal foul. Tampa Bay. That's the first penalty on the Bucs tonight.
We get another emotional moment for Tony.
He was trying to keep things in perspective here and talk about a 3-game winning streak. And I love the analogy he drew. Here's the personal foul, Walt Coleman. Hope he doesn't turn the mic on now.
We couldn't hear it either, Tony.
But he was trying to calm things down, Dungy was, and he said, euphoria is a little bit like cologne. If you splash some on, it feels awfully good, but if you drink it, you got trouble.
Yeah. One of the really, really good guys in the NFL.
Second down. Back split. 24-14 final quarter. Jackie Harris, Warwick Dunn. That one is incomplete. Dilfer has not been sacked yet tonight. That was close.
And that's just great quarterback instincts. When a quarterback feels the pressure, instead of trying to force something, throwing the ball away. And that relates to Tony Dungy, very cerebral. Mike Shula, his offensive coordinator, calming him down. Last year in this situation, he'd throw this ball into 3 or 4 people and it'd be an interception. This year, smart enough to get rid of it.
He has come a long, long way. And, other than Marino, who developed very, very quickly, everybody goes through a growing pains. Dilfer went through those, but he's come out on the other side pretty well.
Said he's trying to be less cerebral and more reactive in his play. He faces a blitz here. Settles in the right flat for Warwick Dunn. And Terrell Buckley. Oh! Face mask.
He knows it. I'll tell you what, when you've got a guy that slippery, if you can't grab him around the jersey, around the neck, around the, grab him by the face mask, because he's just too tough to tackle. If you don't get a clean shot at him, you can't bring him down.
Yeah, this, you talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line, the Dallas Cowboy offensive line. This Buck offensive line has been pretty doggone good tonight. Right? There's a lot of that's the old shovel pass or push pass, if you will, but he's got a lot of time to find number 28 Dunn.
Well, a couple of grizzled veterans in that offensive line, and Paul Gruber and Tony Mayberry. And they are joined by Jim Pine, George Diaz, Odom once. There's Pine, there's Mayberry. Jason Odom back in now.
Yep. First time he's never worn orange as his team color.
You've been staying up too late. Yeah. 1st and 10. There's the human pile driver.
Yeah. I tell you, bowling ball with legs, get out of his way. And that is one determined runner, Mark.
And he's a throwback type runner. He's going to lower his shoulder and just run over you. He's not going to make a move to move around you. He's got 9 yards just on that carry alone, but he's got 66 yards and 13 carries this evening. And when you look at a guy like this, he's a momentum builder for your offense. When you want to move the chains in the 4th quarter, you give it to a guy like this to move the piles, and that's Mike Allstott.
Played collegiately at Purdue, and if I think of a guy who personifies a Boilermaker, it's certainly Mike Allstott, and it's not Bob Greasy.
Yeah, you're right. And, he is giving Jerome Bettis a real run for the best power back in the NFL.
2nd and 1. Ten-point Tampa lead. Power set again with Allstott, the lone setback.
Again, they remind me actually, Mark, of some of those old Redskin teams. Now, again, I know this is only the 4th game of the year, so let's not get too carried away, but they're old Redskin teams that you played on. They can hammer you and power you and run it down your throat, and then they can come up with big plays. And this Buck team this year, through 3 3/4 games, have shown some of those same characteristics.
Well, that's smash mouth football, Pat. When you're moving the chains and moving the piles, now you take a shot at the end zone. Joe Gibbs' philosophy, you get them going with the short stuff and hit them right in the mouth. Now you go for the big touchdown down the sideline.
5.4 average tonight on 14 carries, and they are chewing huge chunks of the clock away right now. This time, Daryl Gardner is there to make the tackle. Whistles signify the end of the play. Well, we invite you to watch Dean Cain and the lovely Terry Hatcher on TNT, the new home of Lois and Clark, the new adventures of Superman, every Monday through Saturday at 7 Eastern and 6 Central.
We ought to give Mike Allstott a guest appearance on that. I think he's wearing an S underneath his jersey.
Sellout crowd at Houlihan Stadium. The largest crowd ever was here for a Chicago game in '92. 74,000, and give or take 400. May approach that tonight. 2nd and 9. Play fake. Dilfer throws it away.
Yeah, that's part of the process. Mark, you were talking about it a moment ago. Avoided the sack a little bit and then avoided the ups.
Whoa.
Now, again, once you are outside the tackle, you can throw the ball anywhere near the line of scrimmage, but they must say he wasn't outside the tackle.
Plus, Pat, that wasn't near the line of scrimmage. That ball was in the 3rd row of the front row seats there, the cheap seats.
All you have to do is get it in that area. And that's, I guess that qualifies as that area, doesn't it?
Well, the fans happy. Veneer.
I think they make you give it back.
That's right.
2 years ago, they may have.
I think they do. Now, again, the key thing is, hey, is he outside the tackle, the right tackle? I think he is. I thought he was outside the tackle, and the rule is if you do that, all you have to do is get the ball to the line of scrimmage.
Spoken like a quarterback.
Thank you.
Almost.
I stumbled there just a moment.
9.5 to go after the penalty. Al Dungy is enraged.
Yeah. And again, here's where Trent Dilfer cannot turn the ball over and let Miami crawl back in it.
3rd and 28. 4-man Miami rush, screen pass. Warwick done. Warwick done. No flags.
A beautiful call by David Shula, the offensive coordinator, executed to perfection. Look at this. Look at the big guys out in front. They're going to throw great blocks. There you see Diaz throwing the block, but watch 61 to the left of your screen. Mayberry gets a cut right there, and that springs Warwick Dunn for the touchdown. Outstanding execution by the offense.
58 yards on 3rd and 28. Warwick Dunn, 58 yards. Tampa, 31-14.
Applebee's introduces luscious new combinations of our original riblets, paired with so-tender sirloin steak, or crispy golden chicken fingers, or classic Caesar salad. Combos so good most people describe them as outrageously juicy, tender and tangy, meaty and hearty, bodaciously good, downright delicious original riblet combos.
You belong at Applebee's. It's time to see the Eagles battle the Vikings. Coverage begins next Sunday at 7 Eastern, only on TNT.
They've not quit screaming since we left you.
An optimistic bunch.
Kenny Gant, leader of the special teams. And Michael Husted will kick off. Jarris McPhail grabs this one, but he's 4 yards back. Touchback. And let's go back and look at the screen pass to Warrick Dunn again.
You may not know much about this offensive line of the Bucs yet, but as this year wears on, you'll get to know a lot about it. Watch the blocks by Pine, number 60, and right here Mayberry, number 61, and the wide receiver, Carl Williams. I mean, remember, it's 3rd and 28. Ordinarily, you gain 8 yards, you punt it. But when you have a guy like Warrick Dunn, you give him a chance, and he goes 58 yards. That is his 3rd play this year for over 49 yards. Remember, Tony Dungy said he wanted some more scoring punch. He's got it.
17-point lead again with 9:10 to go. Marino. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. No, it's not. It's Jarris McPhail, number 32, and Tyrone Leggett and Donnie Abraham combined for the tackle. Dolphins will go without the huddle. There's Mayberry, Jason Odom, Jim Pine. 2nd down and 2.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have never had a Pro Bowl offensive lineman. Well, starting off 4-0, I guarantee they'll get at least one of them this year.
And there's another guy worthy of consideration, Donnie Abraham, their corner.
There's that excitement by Tony Dungy.
4-man rush, Marino, Jarris McPhail. This kid's got great speed, but he's been a little bit of a disappointment for the Dolphins.
Vern, if your team's behind, there's a few guys you want under center. John Elway's one of them, and Dan Marino is the other. 33 fourth-quarter comebacks.
Down 17 here with only 8:10 remaining. Tipped. Caught. O.J. McDuffie. It was tipped by Marcus Jones, number 78.
You notice how many red jerseys there are around the guy who ends up with the ball? Remember that game, Kill Guy with the ball when you were a kid? There's a bunch of guys there. The tip ball by Marcus Jones. Remember, he's the one that blocked the field goal earlier. Well-timed play. Good reaction there by McDuffie.
2nd and 1. Out of the shotgun, Marino across the middle. McPhail, 1st down, Miami at the 43-yard line.
I think I saw a flag. Yeah, I know I did, because you can see this right there.
That's a shuttlecock.
Flag hanging. Flag hanging.
Yeah. Against Tampa Bay. Well, it was not a record-setting crowd tonight in terms of attendance. The figure 73,314. 'Tis a sellout. This is the final year, by the way, for the big sombrero.
No, that's the big sombrero.
That's a big mustache.
I'd like to be sitting behind that guy.
I want to check his papers.
Yeah, the guy behind him's complaining.
Illegal hands to the face on the defense, number 78. That penalty's declined. 1st down.
This is the final year for the stadium. As we said, it was constructed in 1976, the original year of this franchise. A team that went 0-26 before they won their first game. 3 winning seasons in 21 years. The last in 82, the strike season. Charles Jordan, number 88. Charles Mincy, number 22, makes the tackle.
Say a couple times tonight, Mark, we've seen Jarris McPhail, the nickelback, step up and take on a blitzing safety for the Bucs, and doing a very good job of it.
It's just good to see that Herman Edwards is still going after Dan Marino and not playing a prevent defense.
1st down and 10 after the 19-yard gain. Again, the 4-man rush, and Marino tips incomplete. Hardy Nickerson, twice a Pro Bowler here in Tampa.
Pat and I talked to Herman Edwards, a defensive secondary coach, before the game, and he said the last few games they've given up cheap touchdowns at the end of the game, and there's Herman right there, and that's what's really hurt this football team. He wants to get them to concentrate now and not give up anything cheap. You remember Herman Edwards? He picked up that fumble in that big game at the Meadowlands where Joe Pisarcik was trying to down the ball, picks it up, runs it back for a touchdown, and Eagles win.
The miracle at the Meadowlands. We asked if any of his team guys he coaches remember that play. They said, heck no. We weren't even born then.
But they do bring in the bubblegum cards to try to remember what it looked like.
2nd and 10. Left side, timing pattern. It's complete. Brian Manning, number 83, the 6th-round pick from Stanford, in front of Anthony Parker. And Marino hustling his club up without the huddle.
You know, for anybody else, maybe other than Elway and Marino, you'd say this game is over. But not too many people leave when Dan Marino's the quarterback of the other team.
6:15 remaining in this one. Marino has it at the 5. Barnett. The tackle from Donnie Abraham.
Yeah, Marino and Elway are real bad for traffic because everybody stays around.
And Dan signaling the play now, and they will go from the shotgun on 2nd and 1 from the 5. Draw play. Jarris McPhail, 1st and goal, Miami at the 2.5.
And when you look at this Tampa defense, they're starting to rise to the occasion. You look at some of the young guys on this defensive line, Marcus Jones, Toyoka Jackson. These are guys that they really wanted to elevate and step their game up, and they've done it tonight, substituting for the great one, Warren Sapp.
Toyoka Jackson.
He got me in the hallway the other day. Mark May, I remember you. When I was a little kid, I saw you play for the Redskins.
Get used to it.
He brought me down to my knees in a hurry.
Nearing the 5-minute mark now, 1st and goal. Dolphins trailing by 17. And they're going to have to use one of their 3 timeouts. Dan Marino trying to bring his club back. They still trail by 17 with under 5 to play.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Headlining tonight's really big show, here's the Mercedes-Benz M-Class right there. Wow! Look at that turn, folks.
It feels just like a Mercedes. That's because it is a Mercedes, dummy.
Unbelievable! The entire King family.
There's even room for me drum kit.
Look, Eddie. Say that back.
I noticed. Oh, there it is. The first 4x4 that performs like a Mercedes.
I gotta follow an act like that.
The Sistine Chapel cleaning, $7 million. Painting, $4 million. Materials, $2 million. Seems you can get a pretty good restoration for $13 million.
Menenza.
Prego.
Il combo.
Holy cow!
Imagine what Holiday Inns will look like when we spend $1 billion. Holiday Inn, on the way.
4:57 to go in regulation. Tampa Bay 31-14. Another good ball game for us tonight. And next week we'll be in Minnesota. The Philadelphia Eagles, losers in a heartbreak in Dallas last Monday night, have had a week to think about it. And now they go into Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Pro football tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern next Sunday. And then we'll be along with the kickoff at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
I think Ray Rhodes would have preferred to have played, last Tuesday rather than wait and take a week off.
What kind of week do you think Tommy Hutton had? First and goal. Play action. Left side incomplete.
Remember, Mike Allstott was wide open a couple of times, the fullback in the flat. This time, Dwayne Dotson supposedly sneaks out in the flat, but Tony Bowie is right there, was not fooled. Now, of course, the score is 31-14, so you're expecting primarily a pass. But the Bucs had the fullback wide open 2 times in a row, and that time Dotson was not quite wide open.
Drayton tight right. Barnett sneaks into the left side. This time they hand it off to John. Oh, what a pop. Derek Brooks, number 55.
Derek Brooks is a rising star. Again, another one of those guys you don't hear much about. 133 tackles like that a year ago. Started the season off right with 11 tackles against San Francisco. You know, he can play like that physically. He can rush the passer. He had a sack last week, and he's very good in the pass game. This guy, Derek Brooks, is a heck of a player.
Unbelievable speed, and you saw some of the power. 9 tackles. They go inside. No! Derek Brooks.
And Derek Brooks says, call my number. There's no way you're going to get it over me. 2 super plays in a row right there. Picture perfect tackling. He finds a way to slip in between the linemen and get up there and knifes through and nail Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in midair. Right there you can see him. Hits him right in the back.
4th and goal. Shotgun. 4 wide receivers. Marino. Touchdown. Barnett.
Don't you just love to see athletes rise to the occasion, rise to the moment? And how many times has Dan Marino done it in his career? About a zillion. That's a lot.
A zillion?
Yeah. I don't know how many. No, I don't know how many zeros are on a zillion, but Dan Marino's got a lot of.
I'm going to check your bank account.
Is that more than our gracious owner, Mr. Turner's given to charity in the past
just
week?
a pinch.
Oh, gracious.
Yeah. Just a smidgen?
Just a smidgen more.
That's a smidgen. That was a trifle more than a smidgen. Olinda Mare's extra point is up and good. Marino finds Barnett for the touchdown. Miami maintains hope. 10-point game.
Sunday night, watch Minnesota's hounding defense take on Ricky Watters in Philadelphia. Sunday night, NFL on TNT. The best time to see the Eagles battle the Vikings. Coverage begins next Sunday at 7 Eastern, only on TNT.
When you buy a new Honda 4Trax 300, 300 4x4, or the rugged Foreman 400, you can see something you just won't see on any other ATV. Your choice of 7.9% APR financing and no down payment. Or a pair of incredible German precision optic Steiner binoculars. Now you can see why Honda ATVs are the best on earth.
I don't know. Never thought much about retiring. Figured I'd know when the time was right.
We're gonna miss you, Ted.
36 years. Started on DC-6s. Pretty much everything you needed to work on one, you found in the toolbox. Today, we use ultrasounds to check for microscopic voids. Use x-rays, boroscopes, magnetic imaging. Yeah, the tools have changed, but the job really hasn't. Ask anybody out here. They'll tell you. We're not just responsible for these planes. We're responsible for the people who get on them as well. That's the way it's always been. I'm proud to say for the past 36 years, I've been a small.
Way to go, Ted.
During the timeout, special teams coach Mike Westhoff with his kickoff team gathered around. He was telling us yesterday how much he admires an onside kicking technique perfected by Morton Anderson in Atlanta, where you put the ball at an angle, and when you approach the onside kick, you drive it down with your foot as if you're hitting a wedge shot in golf. Now, Tampa Bay has called a timeout to talk about the possibilities.
And you know what? That's a great timeout. I mean, Tampa Bay has 3 of them. They saw the alignment that Miami came out originally. It is Joe Marciano, the special teams coach. Now he knows what to tell his team. Now, mind you, again, that the onside kicks are only recovered about 10% of the time. But Mike Westhoff says this new technique, you think you get that big bounce, that real big bounce, and you have a chance of increasing that percentage. And because it hits the ground, you can't call for a fair catch.
Westhoff said Morton Anderson can kick it 20 feet in the air.
Yep.
Maury gets it about 10 to 12 feet in the air.
This ball should come high. Came high on the wrong bounce.
Yeah. And a little altercation breaks up. There was a whistle before the kick.
Yeah.
Shelton Quarles got into one.
Good thing for him. You are
the
good.
kick was made prior to the ready for play. We must re-kick.
That's a little anxiousness.
Mike Westhoff looks a little bit like Marino's going to look in 20 years. Got a resemblance?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
So we'll try it again.
I'm not going there.
Yep.
All right. Now watch this kick. I'm sure they'll try it again, even though this one. You drive your foot down into the ball, and the idea is to pop it up. Pat, you make an excellent point. There's no fair catch out.
Because the ball hits the ground. But he got the big hop, but it was the second one. You're supposed to be off that first one, and it really should have a big opportunity to recover.
Now they load up, does Tampa Bay, on the far side. 6 of them in pewter. It's a pewter portrait of Pirates. There it is. Scramble. Who got it? Unstack the bodies.
Now at this point, it's whoever has the strongest hands.
Buccaneers.
Well, Mike Westhoff got what he wanted. You know, a scramble. And it was Tony Bowie, number 23, who comes up with the ball. Yes, he drives it down. He got the hop, not quite as high as they wanted. Dave Moore missed it first. Number 23 scrambling around there.
Bowie.
Bowie. And again, you know, Tony Bowie is one of those, yeah.
And I think that's just great heads-up play by the special teams coach, Joe Marciano, of alerting his team to be prepared for that.
Marciano congratulates Tyrone Bowie.
And he may get that big chair next week. The lounge chair for that play.
Leggett had it last week.
Yeah, and a free breakfast to boot.
Yeah.
Now, it's a comfortable chair. Now time called.
Well, you watch Joe Marciano too. This Buck team this year, and Tony Dungy was saying it. Hey, we've had complete wins. We played well offensively, defensively, and on special teams.
Now Tony Dungy said they've awarded 9 game balls in their 3 wins. They do 1 for offense, 1 for defense, 1 for special teams. The 9 game balls thus far have gone to 9 different players. Now Trent Dilfer, playing reactively rather than cerebrally, has thrown 4 touchdown passes tonight. That doubles his output for 1997.
Yeah, they are. He has played well, but they are also in very good hands with Allstott.
That's the second time that's been used tonight.
Really?
I grabbed it first.
Did you? I didn't see. I wasn't paying attention.
Never listened.
No, I wasn't.
To me.
I knew I heard it somewhere.
Greg Erickson was the last to throw 4 in a game in '93 against Atlanta. 2nd and 5. 240.
I think a lot of people probably use that or will.
Yeah, I've seen a few banners.
Yep.
If this kid doesn't get an insurance company endorsement, it's not his fault, nor his mother and father's.
You know, this team is growing with confidence, Vern and Mark, you know, and you know, there's one thing about turning your attitude around, and you win a couple of games and you hope you're a good team, but when you win 4 games against some pretty good football teams, that confidence becomes real. It's not a false sense of confidence anymore.
Walt Coleman's going to make a long journey before he tells us what the flag is about.
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And Jimmy Johnson's team goes back home to rest for a week. Then they welcome the Kansas City Chiefs, who are off to a quick start, 3-1 at New Jersey. Warren Sapp should be ready next week when the Buccaneers welcome the Arizona Cardinals. Pewter power. To the 20.
This guy's going to give some guys some headaches this year. Warren Sapp, he didn't really call it pewter, did he? He thought it was a different shade.
You want to call it a different shade of gray.
Yeah.
And then he looked at me to chime in with him, and I thought it was pewter myself. Yeah. But when you look at this football team, when they can run the ball in this situation and get 7 and 8 yards on first down, it's demoralizing to the Miami defense.
Well, we've reached the 2-minute warning. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, playing their second game at home this year, have a lead of 10.
Hello? Peter, pick up the phone. I hope you left already.
Evening.
Traffic is insane. I don't know how you're going to get across town. Anyway, everybody is here.
You know those dress pants that go from work to after work without missing a beat?
And there was an accident on the bridge, and they tore up 3rd Street.
These are Slates.
I hope you're not stuck someplace.
From Levi Strauss & Company.
For centuries, we have wondered if we are alone in the universe. On November 7th, we'll wish we were.
We're under attack, so we need retrieval now.
Victory means survival.
Incoming! Get out of here now!
Defeat, extinction. Starship Troopers, rated R, opens November 7th.
At the Principal Financial Group, you'll find the strength of our investment performance is your 401k retirement advantage. You'll find our flexibility will meet your insurance needs, and you'll find the balance of choice and quality you need in health coverage. For over a century, you've trusted the Principal for strength, flexibility, and balance in retirement, insurance, and financial products. At the Principal, we give you an edge.
1982, the only time the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have defeated Miami. It was a Monday night game here. Doug Williams, the Tampa Bay quarterback. Tampa Bay came away with a win, 23-17, and finished the strike-shortened season with a 5-4 record, went into the postseason tournament where they lost to Dallas. They are trying to win for only the second time ever against the Miami Dolphins. 2nd down and 2. Allstott getting close to a 100-yard night.
You know, that is the 13th time he has had a run of 5 yards or more this evening. He has been phenomenal. And again, think about how different, Mark, these guys are between, you know, Allstott, who gives you that power, hammer, and Warrick Dunn, who's like, you know, a leaf in the wind.
Well, 2 different dimensions, and it's really difficult for a defense to defend those 2 guys. You got the power guy in the middle, then you've got Dunn, which he hides between those big linemen. You can never get a clear shot at him. Warrick right there, he's going to be a great player. When you talk about small players, they worry about him getting banged up, but the Joe Washingtons, guys like that were small players. They played for 8, 9, 10 years in the NFL.
1st and 10.
Quarterback's favorite formation.
Take a knee. Vince, Keith, and Sean coming up with scores and highlights from the day, along with any news from the league. That's on the Mercedes-Benz post-game show, as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with 41-year-old Tony Dungy in his 2nd season as head coach, maintain their undefeated status to start the season.
I would just love to see Tony smile before that clock reads 0-0. There he goes right there. Outstanding.
And that was Richie McKay, the general manager of the Bucs, who, as we said, did a great job of drafting guys, and Tony has coached them well.
Among other things, this is a team that's in really good shape relative to the salary cap.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of Bucks next year. No pun intended.
And the buck does not stop here.
Oh, no.
You've been saving it. Trent Dilfer, another outstanding day. 4 touchdowns tonight. Jimmy Johnson and Tony Dungy. Let's go down to Craig Sager.
Well, thank you much, Tony. 1-8 a year ago. You didn't lose your faith. Now you come back. You've won 9 out of the last 11. What's been the difference?
Well, we just played with composure, and obviously the young kids on offense making big plays helps us. We were a little down on defense today. We didn't have Warren and Rufus Porter, and we knew we were going to have to make some plays, but we've been playing as a team. 1 week it's offense, 1 week defense, 1 week special teams, and that's what makes you good.
Congratulations. I know you want to talk to your team, but we're going to talk to Hardy Nickerson for a second. For years, you've been the only Pro Bowl player on this team. We're talking upstairs. We heard Mark May and Pat Hayden say he thinks you're going to have some teammates this year.
Oh, yeah. We've got a lot of guys who are playing like all pros this year, and we just hang together as a team. We've gelled as a team. Everybody's playing great football, and it's great to be out here tonight on Sunday night.
What about the difference? A year ago, you come out here, empty stands, false hopes. I mean, now you come in here, sold-out stadium, playoff atmosphere. Talk about the difference for you.
Well, you know, it's a big difference. Last year, we were 0-4. This year, we're 4-0. And, you know, last year, our 4th game of the season, we hardly had any fans in the stands. You know, tonight we had a sellout, a record crowd. And we're just pumped up. We're playing 1 game at a time. And we want to get out here and play well in front of our home crowd tonight.
Congratulations, a great win.
Thank you.
Let's go back upstairs to Vern.
All right, Craig, the Cardinals come to town next week. And then it's on to Green Bay for the first of 2 meetings this season between the Packers and the Buccaneers. Cheese Heads and Computer Pirates, that'll be one to watch. Tampa Bay is 4-0 for the first time since '79.
The